This beer is really
good. Keeping me on my toes.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
look at this. Film this. Film this. Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of our 3-part series on focusing on your staff. So today we're talking about the actual training of your staff now that you've hired them, which we talked about in the last video. So there are 2 main ways that you can train your staff. First and foremost, you have to have a new hire training. I still actually have the new hire training from the first restaurant I worked in, but basically it's going to show you the beer basics, basic styles, temperatures, pours, glassware, etc. To give those new hires a good foundation. Second, once you've got them on staff and now they know the basics, at every shift, before every shift, if you've got a new beer or anything like that, you should always go ahead and mention that at your staff meeting. Bring them in. It doesn't need to be complicated, but it should be comprehensive so your servers know what they're talking about. So Ross, give us kind of what your introduction to this beer would be if you were on staff.
So for example, we have a nice lager from the Chamonix Creek. And one thing to note whenever you get a new beer in, obviously, is style. You're going to need to know the style. Lager is very general. This one specifically is a Vienna style amber lager. Won't matter to a lot of people, but the beer nerds that are at your establishment are going to want to know each and every one of those 4 words. Another really important point is if the beer has any accolades. So you'll see here that this, along the top, has a GABF gold medal for the style. That is a huge selling point. Any GABF or World Beer Cup medals, is free sales. Free sales for the brewery and then free sales for your establishment. And then another thing to talk about is where the beer is from. This is pretty local to us. It's in Pennsylvania, we're in Maryland. But if you're serving beer that's from a really, like a hotspot state, so Colorado, California, most of the New England states, there's a lot of good, North Carolina, I won't forget you. There's a lot of good states that have a lot of good beer. And so if you know that a brewery is in a very strong brewing scene, you can use that as a selling point for that beer. All this can be covered pretty quickly in like a shift meeting. My last restaurant job, we did like half-hour, maybe 40-minute meetings like this, where we would cover all the new beer, all the new wine, whatever the cocktail specials were, and you can go over everything very quickly, and it just gives basically your entire front of house staff a little bit of extra knowledge for the night.
Absolutely. So other things that you can mention while talking about the beer would be what glasses you have on hand to serve it in. So right now we've got a Pilsner from Bormioli Rocco. We talk about how to pour it. And just remember, staff meetings are always going to be like these little nuggets of knowledge. They don't have to go on for hours and hours because your staff needs to remember this stuff on their feet. So training should be informative, like we talked about. They should be often. You want to continue training your staff, not just the newbies. So with that, be sure to tune into our 3rd and final episode, which will be on retaining that great staff. Now that you've got them trained, now that you've hired them, we want to make sure that we retain them. So be sure to check that out. Also check us out on Instagram at Bldg46. And until next time, guys, remember, tabletop matters.
Cheers.